So it's that time again, the end of the day wrap as we started the second week under these floodlights with a double-header Magic Monday. And the two sides, we spoke about it being moving week in the build-up to today. The two sides on top of the table have extended their lead. The only two teams to remain unbeaten. Sandeep Lamachani's men were incredible this morning, the Baratnagar Kings in the battle of the east sides. And under the floodlights in the battle of the two west teams, the Karnali Yaks weren't good enough for the Sudaprashim Royals, who've made it 3 from 3. And I've got some immediate reaction, and it's going to be quick because it is a bit cold, Harmeet. Congratulations, mate. Well done. You are having quite a year and quite a time of things here in Nepal. How much are you enjoying the MPL?
I enjoy it every time I'm here, and then when the ball is spinning a little bit, or even I can be myself here, and then also again with the bat, and then the team especially, playing with the likes of Dipinder and everybody, and it's just a fun franchise to play for.
You've walked in a few difficult positions with the bat. Let's start with that. I think it was 73 for 5 this evening, but having gone hurricane Harmeet, as Mikhail said earlier in the tournament, this was a more measured innings, but Dipinder Singh and you really got a total to defend.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about in the middle, that it's not like a 160, 180 wicket, and we just wanted to get something on the board for us to bowl for, and anything over 140, that was our goal. But then we started really hitting the ball well, and then I thought 150, 160 was on the cards if we played all the overs, but then I got out, then the next over Dipinder got out, but then still 140 was a good fighting total, and then again we knew that good start in the power play, wickets in the power play would put pressure, and that's what happened, and I think then we kept taking wickets in every interval, and then it was just wickets every couple overs.
Let me ask you about your bowling. You started with the maiden, which looked unplayable. I actually asked the producer at one point, I said, can we just get all 6 of those balls back to back to back, because you just looked in perfect rhythm right from the off. What gives you that control as a bowler?
Again, it's a very maybe rude answer, but then I've been bowling for 23 years
Practice.
now, and then and all the one thing I've learned is spinning the ball, but and I enjoy it. And again, I think I had a chat with you before. Like 6 months, I was struggling with my shoulder a little bit, but then now I feel great, and then it's giving me that confidence of bowling slow, and I've been in the last few leagues and series, and even Major League, I was bowling much slower than last year. So I've been enjoying bowling slower. It's gripping on most surfaces. So even if there's a little bit of grip, it's more about playing with the batter's bat swing, and I enjoy that when you beat someone in the flight, and then that thrill when when you don't have a lot of pace to play with, and then you need a big heart to go out there and flight that ball.
It's a perfect word, isn't it? Thrill for spin bowling. I'm just going to ask you one last question, because I can't not ask you about him. I know you play against him for USA, but how good is Dipinder Singh? Without him tonight, I don't think you would have won that game.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like Irie, when he's on song, he's almost unstoppable, and that's what you're praying for as an opponent team, and then and it's just the balance we formed between both of us also, that either with the ball or bat, if one of us clicks, it just sets the game up for the team, and then the support from everybody. And then if you have an inning like Josh or Chris Lynn, then it just gives us like a really good head start for us to bowl with. And then if not that, and then we just put like a good total and then fight. That's been our game plan, and then we've been doing it really well. Probably we should keep losing the toss, I think.
Have you got the somersault in your locker?
Oh, no. I'll lose 5 years in my career.
Mate, go get that bus. Thanks for chatting to me. Best of luck. Having an amazing season. Harmeet Singh's career economy rate in the Nepal Premier League, 4.75 before today. He delivered yet again today, 4 overs, 2 for 19. Let me come and tell you about the rest of the day at this Nepal Premier League. Amazing crowd, a complete sellout yet again. And just seems whichever day of the week, whatever time of the day, there is nothing but full stands the entirety of the time. We're here at this fantastic cricket ground, the TU. The atmosphere, the buzz has been unbelievable. And thanks to all of you, the way in which you've created that atmosphere. The Bolts fans, we saw them in there in that kind of lower stand over there. The Bolts army, they kind of congregated and arranged themselves, and they were dancing and vibing and loving every second. Let's talk about that morning game. I thought, well, kind of a morning game, starts at 11:45, mainly an afternoon game. I thought that at the halfway stage, I thought Sandeep Lamachani's side were really in trouble. They had to battle up to 136 in and around that area. You're never going to be quite comfortable, but Lamachani himself, well, he bowled outstandingly well. He's now got the newly inaugurated golden cap on his head. 4 for 11 were his final figures, and I actually thought he got a couple of really tricky decisions with the captaincy spot on the money as well, because he front loaded things. He made sure that it was just the 1 over at the end that Pratish GC had to bowl, but by that stage, because of the fact that they couldn't really get the batters on to strike, and then Yannick Lofty-Eaton just got no support. I thought he played ever so well, particularly given he's a little bit under the weather. You might have noticed it's seriously cold, and I mean very, very cold. We've had a drop in temperature, bit of talk of some snowfall up in various parts of the Himalayas, so that's kind of feeding down into the valleys. I did think the way in which they bowled was outstanding. I want to give a special mention, a big mention for Surya Tamang. He picked up 2 for. I think he's a young bowler with a huge amount of promise, huge amount of talent, but do you think of the fact that they got George Munsey out early, and the Kings, the top order didn't really fire? Martin Guptill, concerned for him too. I saw him go off. It looked like, again, that sort of lower leg injury which he had last season. Remember, he did a hamstring. I think it might be a quad this time. Let's wish him well. Hopefully he'll be able to get back on the park. Might have to miss a game. Let's wait and see for that. But 135 on the board, you're never going to be really too comfortable. But I thought the way in which they rotated things around, Marchant Delanga again bowled with real pace and aggression. He was ever so impressive. But between Tamang and the star of the show, Sandeep Lamachani, they ended up being able to get home, and comfortably enough in the end, despite the occasional little flurry. We also nearly saw the most special of moments. Lalit Rajbanshi has never hit a 6 in his cricket career, well, certainly in a professional level of any kind. He nearly did, just inches short. He hit a boundary, but it was all too little too late as the Kings got up by 9 runs. That put them at the top of the table with 3 wins from 3. And then the Sudhir Prashim Royals, well, the Dipender Singh Airi show that we saw this evening, bat, ball, the only thing he didn't do tonight was pick up a run out, and he usually picks up one of those. But 39 off 28, I think it was. He took the senior statesman role alongside Harmeet Singh in that partnership. It drove them up to a similar total. What did they get? I think they got about 139, didn't they? So the target was 140, and you felt as though with the Yaks batting, particularly the way Mark Watt struck them the other night, and the fact that Panchal has also got a 90 to his name, the 140 should have been within their compass. But the Sudhir Prashim Royals, they just have a winning mentality. If you look at the variety in their bowling attack, the express pace of Scotty Kugeline, I think the death bowling skills of Abhinesh Bahar are still very underrated. He picked up 2 for. Dipender Singh Airi himself, particularly that delivery to Gulshan Jah, which may well have been the final ball, I think, of his 4 over spell. Jah fought hard. They've got to get Jah up the order for me. I know he's a finisher, but I think he's a better cricketer than he's being utilised as by the Karnali Yaks, not even really bowling that much either. What it's ended up giving us after now what is 8 days of the competition, 7 match days, it's given us a bit of a split in the table, and it means that by all certainties and all likelihoods, you can only write them in pencil, but both the Royals and the Kings, I think, will be in the playoffs. And to be honest, it's going to be hard to knock them off their top 2 spot. So that's going to wrap up today's wrap up, if that makes any sense. Tomorrow's a sellout again. In fact, every game this week is a sellout, which is absolutely extraordinary. The team from Cannes are doing an amazing job. The MPL team as well. Everyone here working so hard. So if you do want to come along and experience this in person, make sure to get that Calty app downloaded and see if there are any tickets available, because every day feels like a party, feels like a festival, and we're loving every second here with you in Kathmandu. Just the one game tomorrow, and we'll come into action. The Kathmandu Gorkhas will take on the Lumbini Lions. Gorkhas, I feel they need a win. They've lost 2 on the bounce, and the Lions, under the leadership of Rohit Paudel, will be desperate to find their second win as well. I want to thank you so much for enjoying every bit of this season, and we'll see you again this time tomorrow.